So let's do this, right? Then let's go into my tools. Let me remove that strip of resources and remove that strip of resources. And then polished stone is going to need to go on a conveyor belt. Well, that's fine. So what we could do is go to buildings, go to stonemason, and we could put a stonemason just sort of up there. And then basically a bunch of chutes that would go from this sort of, I guess, quarry up there. Because we can do the same with iron ore as well. We could have some chutes that go down this way to store iron ore, or to, you know, go to a building to then sort of process iron ore, go to the forge, I think it is. So that might not be a bad idea. Either way, stone bricks are going to get made there. It might be a little much to have all these chutes, but I might do it. I might do it. I mean, this is a little bit closer, but this one's more in the direction I want to go. So I think that is going to be what we do. How many? We need 1 plank per chute here. I'm thinking I might want to raise these up, though. I think that might be a good idea to raise up these chutes so that we don't have a situation where people can't walk under them. Because then we can actually have people walking out through here. Which I think is going to be a good idea. Just give that extra little bit of movement. And then for here, I guess we could have... Yeah, I guess the stone could go on a chute over there. So we're going to have 2 chutes, basically. Which I think is fine. So this one's going to come out of here. That's the middle of the building. And then I want it to go this way. And that way. Now we need to leave a gap of 2, so that tree needs to go right there. So let's remove that resource. Let's go back to our structural blocks. Let's do this right here. And something like that. So that's going to be... That's going to be a pretty solid path for where that's going to go. The conveyor is going to make things a little bit tricky. We might not be able to do much, I mean, walking under the conveyor, but at least you can walk under all of this and it's not going to be in the way. Which is kind of the goal. So let's see. If we were to do something like this, then maybe a platform? So sort of this kind of thing, since we have this weird, this raised bit of terrain. So then we do a wooden bridge on these parts, so people can walk around it really easy. We actually don't have the planks needed for this. That's interesting. I really have gone through them. I mean, we're gonna collect them pretty easy. This thing's gonna be working like a good one. In fact, we could probably afford to speed that up a little bit, which will give us even more lumber. I'm wondering if I can afford to upgrade some houses too. These are all level 2 over here. So upgrade you, upgrade you, upgrade you, and you can't be upgraded, but that's fine. What I think I'd like to do is get that to 205% speed on production. So that thing is seriously fast on production there. We're getting 1 wood pretty much every second. This could probably do with a production increase as well. So 205 in the planks. That way we should be getting a good number of planks. So if we go back over here, we can do our wooden bridge. And then we're actually going to need to do something like this. And then some wooden bridges there as well. Then the stairs and then the chutes and all the platforms. But I think this will be good. I think this will be really good. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I'm also thinking this needs to be producing even faster, so I'm just going to max out the workers on that. So that's going to be seriously quick when it comes to getting everything we need. So let's see. Let's go for a platform there and there. Then the half stairs basically go the whole way across here. So here and here as well, and then that's where all the elevated parts will go, and this should be good. I mean, the conveyor belt, again, the conveyor belt might not end up being raised up, which I'm not too keen on, but I think to save on resources, it might be for the best to not raise it up right now. So let's have a little look at paths. We have 48 of these in storage, so if we just go like this, we can just have conveyors run straight out of the front of that. That'll be making stone bricks, and we'll have a bunch of people over here at some point that'll be essentially mining stone and throwing it on two different chutes. Some of it will go direct into storage, some of it will go direct into the barn, or into the stonemason, then into here as polished stone. I am realizing we have a lot of stone over here already. So what I might actually start doing is I might grab one of these workers and say, go ahead. Actually, if we were to delete you, if I grab a wagon instead and say, start moving stone from the base to that stonemason, that'd be fantastic. I think we could also maybe go ahead and say, remove resources here so we can get through there. We could do a little path or something. But just a little something there so we can get through there a bit quicker. This wagon is gonna be fairly slow. It just is gonna be kind of slow. But that's all right, I think. We'll sort of bring this around. Bring it down there. And that should be all right. So that'll give the wagon a little bit of access. We can immediately start producing this stone. It's going to be very, very slow, but I'm not too worried about that. So let's see. We have all of our stairs. I guess at this point we start looking at the wooden arches, which are each two. Oh god, they're each two planks. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but that's a start. You know, we do that, then we do the chutes, and then we have everything sorted. I guess we just need to wait on the production. Now let's see, how's the kitchen going at the minute? So the kitchen is... Oh, this isn't actually making as much grain as I'd hoped it would. I feel like we might actually need another worker doing this. So let's have you start moving grain onto that chute instead. Let's see if a third worker doing that is going to be any use to us. It'd be nice if he was. Yeah, it looks like... no, it looks like there's a bit of a hindrance there. Oh, this isn't producing quick enough anymore. Interesting. So this needs to be working faster as well. That's very interesting. I wonder if we had more grain. Oh, some of it's regrowing too. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think we need more of the farm tiles. So I think something a bit like that, with a bunch of grain on it, will help things a little bit. I think the cotton's fine, so there's no real worry there. 43 conveyor belts. We should just do this with conveyor belts. I mean, we could. I don't know if it'd be worth it though, because I mean, chutes are fine for basic resources. I'm pretty sure they're honestly faster, I think, as well. But you can only put so many things on a chute. That's the thing. So I guess we'll find out. Either way, let's get back to the arches. Pretty sure we'll have enough to set this bit up. So yeah, that one's set. This one here is nearly, honestly. Then each individual chute takes a single plank, so that's looking pretty decent. And once we actually get this all set up, we can take a lot of the workers out of the forester and the lumber mill again. Because the idea would be that we only really need the exceptional amount of production for what we're doing right here. We can slow down the lumber production once this little project is done because, well, it doesn't need to be excessive, really. So let's see. Bread is still going. We're actually at 1.3k yellow coins. 500 red coins is not bad either. This is currently sitting on 35 books. That's actually quite impressive. Where's the book person? I'd very much like to know. You move the books. Right. So what I want you to do is start moving the books into the school. Because we might be in a spot where we can get these intermediate logistics. And in doing that, we're going to be able to make life a lot easier over this way. Because then we can just set up a conveyor, I think, hopefully, that will move the cloth in one direction and the grain in another direction. So intermediate logistics, we'll see when that gets unlocked. Shouldn't take too long. In the meantime, give me these wooden arches, which can go straight in there, and let's start getting the chutes. So that one actually needs to be like that. Oh, I can double them up. Well, that's interesting. So like this, you go there, and you go there. Right. So that's going to be chute number 1. And I think it looks all right. I mean, I like that we can move under them. I'm glad that we're doing that. This over here can be a nice set of curves, and then from back here, we just start working with a bunch of straight lines. I will say, if this game's done anything for me, it's definitely getting me interested in playing Satisfactory. Because this kind of management, I mean, it's Satisfactory's first person, and a lot of people have been asking me, by the way, if I'm going to play Satisfactory. Yes. I want to play it in multiplayer, though. So I want to find some people to play Satisfactory with in multiplayer, rather than doing single player. So that we can all kind of work in different things, have different tasks, all that kind of stuff. So, honestly, it might end up being a thing we do on the live stream. It might be. There is a definite possibility that that will be the case, because it's a little bit easier to do multiplayer stuff on the stream than it is for YouTube. So let's see. Let's tone down the number of workers in here to 2. Let's tone down the workers in here to 2. And that gives us 6 workers that can go up here. So 1, 2, 3 are going to be doing 1 and 2 and 3. Then 1, 2, 3 are going to be doing, let's see, 1, 2, and 3. So that should work out pretty well for us, I think. I mean, they have to walk a little bit around here, which I don't really like, but that's fine, I guess. What if I do a wooden bridge there? Does that help at all? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's made it just a bit worse. Oh, we got intermediate logistics already. Fantastic. And we got the splitter. Right. Right. That's beautiful. So they're placed on top of belts, chutes, and pipes to filter and redirect goods. Not bad. Not bad. Let's do that there so they can get around a little bit easier. But there we go. That should be some pretty good production there. That'll absolutely get this all. So we'll start storing stone in there, smooth stone in there. We could probably get rid of the wagon that was moving all of the stone. Although all of this stone in here, we don't really need it. So I guess we're probably okay with continuing to move that for a little while. So let's see what we can do with these logic blocks. Do we need to make them? No, we pay for them. Okay. So pusher will redirect matching items off a belt or chute if there's space. Otherwise, we'll let it pass. Place on chute or belt, alternate output direction if available. Filter block that only allows specified items to pass. Will force matching items to take the specified path direction. Okay. So I want to test something here. This might cause some issues, but I'm gonna get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, and get rid of you. Get rid of those. Get rid of all this, which will actually give me back some materials, which is good news. But clear out all of that. Just every bit of it. And if I go in and I say, give me a cloth conveyor belt going that way, and then give me a cloth conveyor belt going that way. I might need to raise this up a little bit just to not have it block everything. So scaffold ramp and some scaffold blocks as per usual. That'll raise it up to this height, which is probably about perfect, so that's fine. We can do the usual set of pillars. In fact, we can probably demolish that one. We'll do the scaffold there. We'll do scaffold full blocks here. Then the arches, so we can walk through that little bit. And a ramp here. Right. So what I want to test is whether or not this actually works. So that goes to there, that goes to there. Right? So. Oh, that's all going the wrong way. Right, so that comes out. You need to be deleted. So delete that. Then do cloth conveyor belt going that way. So that's now splitting, right? That's a little tricky, though, because that means that can get backed up very easily. But if I was to then place a sorter in that direction, click on the sorter, and say you are going to filter... Ooh, metal conveyor belts. You're going to filter for... grains? Will that push grains in that direction if the slot's available? I would hope so. I guess we're going to find out. It might just be the case that, So yeah, it's still filtering out the cotton. I wonder if the cotton gets priority. So it is active, it is sorting, it's just not really... I guess the cotton's just backing it up. Add logic link? Interesting. So I can click on it to, like, add a logic link. That's... very interesting. So yeah, it's not really filtering grains right now. I think that's because the output of cotton is just too high. Which kind of has me thinking that maybe we should just do cotton... I mean, maybe, let me delete the stack of cotton in there real quick. Let me see what happens. Because that'll start pushing cotton in there completely. The only thing is, this is producing cotton so quickly that it never runs out. So that's not really doing what I want it to do. I could take up this space a little bit and create sort of a snaking thing back and forth with the cotton to see if that helps it, but I don't think it will. So this hasn't really worked because this thing's just getting backed up. We're not... Like, the workshop is a little too much. Maybe we move the workshop away and let the resources go into storage first. So maybe we go in, we go to tools, we go to remove resource, take those out. We can rotate the workshop, we can't move it. So we need to go to buildings, we need to go to workshop, and it would need to be there, I guess. Although we'd probably need a filter on it as well. Let's find out what happens. So if I place another workshop, let me see. So workshop, we'll do, if I can, sort of there, right? We'll delete this one. We can do a barn in between. So you guys all kind of need to move for a second. So go there, go there. So cotton and stone can go into this new barn, is what I'm thinking. We can just do a little cloth conveyor belt. And then we can just do cloth conveyor belt, cloth conveyor belt. So that'll start just pumping that straight into the barn. You are going to be making wooden wheels. You are going to be making cloth and cloth conveyor belts. But you don't need you don't need... Wait, why are you not accepting cotton? Have I done the wrong cloth by chance? No, I didn't do cloth at all. There we go. So wooden wheels, cloth conveyor belts, etc., etc. So that'll start accepting materials. It'll not necessarily accept... It seems to just be exclusively accepting the stone. So that might not work either. Now that it's full of stone, it's not accepting anything else. So what that tells me is we want separate barns, if anything. Huh. Okay, well that's still a bit of a pain, honestly. This is producing so much cotton that we kind of need to slow it down, I think. So that the output is actually greater. The capacity of the conveyor belt needs to be greater than the output. Because I need to see if this sorter actually works. So let's see, if it starts pumping out grain. Yeah, the grain does actually go to the side. And I've done the conveyor belt wrong. That's fine, that's fixable. The conveyor belt goes there. So yeah, the grain will actually move. It actually gets delayed by a slight second by the looks of it, but it does move. So that's gonna continue production there. So the sorter works, right? We've discovered that. The thing that doesn't work is just one barn for 2 resources. Okay, so that means we need to go in here and go to remove resource, and we need to take out more of these trees. Take you out as well. Delete that barn. Delete that. We need 2 barns rather than 1 barn, because 1 barn is not enough. So we need a barn here, I guess. So there and there. And then we need conveyor belts to take the resource from the barn into there. So like that. So yeah, that'll pump the resources out quite nicely. Nothing's going to get backed up this time. That can now start making cloth. But it doesn't have planks yet. So let me see something here. If I was to do cloth conveyor belts here and just pause for a second before we let it run. Logic blocks, sorter will force matching items, pusher will redirect matching items, will pull specified items out of a building onto a belt or a chute. So the grabber is going to be grabbing cloth conveyor belts. So that will only grab cloth conveyor belts. Okay. So what that means is we can go to these workers and say, start bringing wood over there. If you wouldn't mind. So now we're making a wood wheel. You're not doing anything either, so you can start bringing that over too. So as we make the wooden wheels, we should see a cloth conveyor belt get made, and if all works out, we're going to see the cloth conveyor belt get automatically moved onto this conveyor belt and automatically moved into storage. That worked. There we go. So now we've sort of automated that process. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. So that's actually working. Now this is going a bit slower, unfortunately. So we could probably up the production a little bit there, just to get a little bit of extra cotton, a little bit of extra grain. But they both get moved out pretty well. They're being split quite nicely. This is getting a fairly steady supply of grain. So that's not bad. I think we could maybe up the production again. Just by 1. So now that's essentially producing at the same rate. Let's try 205, see if that's too much. Doesn't look like it's backing up, and it does look like it's outputting a fair bit more. So yeah, this will be slowed down a little bit because the cotton has to go through here. But that seems like it's working. Which is exactly what we want. It seems that as soon as something is produced, it gets thrown straight onto the conveyor belt, so it goes straight over here. Therefore, it goes straight over here. And that's exactly what we want. So can I get another kitchen so we can start doing some stuff with fish? Because I'd very much like to. So give me a kitchen there. And that's going to need fuel as well. So what I'm thinking is if we had a splitter, I mean, if we had a splitter like back here, we could split the wood coming out of here and have it go to that kitchen as well. So let me go to cooked fish. And let me say, give me a worker for a second just to move fish. Let's see. You're going to move the fish into there. Because we don't need the 19 fish that's in there. This guy's just going to be temporary anyway. So basically what we're thinking is how are we going to neaten up this conveyor belt system? And I think I know what I'd like to do. I think I'd like to raise it above this road and then have it go through the 2 buildings here, sort of out back and then split and then go into the building. I think it has to go in at ground level, so we might have to take that out over the water as well. But I think there's a pretty cool idea in there. So let's see if we can set that up first. It is going to be a little bit of a nightmare at the back here. But that's kind of fine by me. I actually, you know what? Put that scaffold block back in there. Give me paths. Give me that conveyor belt there. And let's just have that go right at the end. A little bit of extra distance never hurt anybody. Right. So what we want to do at this point, I guess, is we want to start working with structural blocks because we want to build up out of the water. This is going to be a total pain in the ass, but whatever. We're going to try this. Those are going to be our 2 endpoints, I think. So, something like that. We're gonna need to build something up pretty substantially here. So like that. The splitter is gonna need to be around here somewhere. I reckon here. So if we go to paths and go to cloth conveyor belt, we want them sort of going like this. So like that. So our splitter could probably be here to push it. Well, actually, no. I think the splitter could probably be there. So half will go that way, half will go that way. I think. I wonder if it works that. I wonder if it works the way it would in Factorio, where one goes one way, one goes the other. Because if it does, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, this is going to be even more of a pain than I thought it was going to be. But that's fine. We're going to figure this out. So that needs to be raised up. That needs to be raised up. And we're going to want an archway here, I think. So, give me that scaffolding ramp. And that's probably high enough, honestly. It will need to be higher over the road back there, though. So that's fine. So give me an archway there so we can go straight through. And give me the pillar supports around here. I'm going to take all of this out. Because this all needs recycled. We actually don't need this bit anymore. Because we're not going to be blocking anything. The only thing we need to do is come back here and raise this up above the road. So we'll do that in a second. Let's get all of this in. Bring this along to one before. And I think that's where it needs to raise up, honestly. Now, we don't have all that many planks to do this, so this is actually going to be a little bit of a pain, but... So something like that, and then I think that's where our ramp would go. And I don't know if that gives us enough height, actually, just looking at it. It looks like it might not. So that could be a bit of an issue. We might need to go up even higher. We don't really have enough wood to do this. We need to get the wood production up again. So that's pretty much gonna put a halt on food for a little while until wood kind of goes crazy again. Do we have any houses to upgrade around here? We have one. We'll upgrade it to level 3. We'll go ahead and say, give me more workers in there. So that's going to be putting out a lot of wood, which means this should be working fairly quickly. So that'll start getting us a bunch of planks. And I'm fairly sure we can do this. I'm actually kind of curious to see what the splitter says. Place on chute or belt alternates output direction if available. So if I do that, I think it'll do what I think it'll do. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? It doesn't really make sense. I think it's going to let us do this. So that's going to be our input. And this is going to need raised up over here. So let's go to structural. Let's go to scaffolding. Let's do, I guess, more scaffolding. And then another ramp. So that's going to be pretty high up there. So 1, 2, 3, and ramp. Yeah, that's gonna be up there. That is gonna be up there. Needs a support block. Oh dear. This is where things might start getting a little bit tricky, isn't it? Can't afford. Oh, I can hover it. Perfect. Okay. Well, that's alright then. As long as I can sort of hover it a bit, we're alright. So yeah, that's okay. I realize we are using a lot of these planks elsewhere as well, so I might actually say clear out a couple of these workers for a second so we can maybe stockpile planks a little bit easier, because the workers are going to be using them for over here. So my question becomes, can I have that hover and have that hovered? Yes, I can. So that's high enough. That's more than high enough for this conveyor belt. What we're going to need to do then is raise it up over here as well.